Alright, hey there guys, Adrian DeCosta here, aka JetterBro95, coming at you guys with what's going to be a long video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while, and I think it is time for me to do something along the lines of this. It is going to be ranking every single theme team in Madden 24. Now, couple of disclaimers before we get into this. One, I am choosing not to forego ranking the promo theme teams, as quite frankly, I'm not going to rank them because they're not regular theme. They're not theme teams, in my opinion. They're literally just promos. Two, this is only going to be including players that are actually on the team. So team captains like Kevin Mawai, Frank Gore, all those guys, if they didn't play on your team, they didn't play on your actual theme team, even though they get all team chem, they're not going to be factored into the overall ranking and lineup and whatnot. And same goes for players like the Combine players as well as the Team Diamond Masters. If they don't play for your team, they're not going to be on the ranking and be looked at and viewed as that specific, for that specific team. You get what I'm trying to say. So, anyways, guys, with that being said, though, we've got the tier list right here. We're going to go in alphabetical order. We're going to start off with the Arizona Cardinals, which are right down here. View in lineup builder. I like this team. I think it has some good pieces to it. Larry Fitzgerald is still relatively solid for a 90 for overall that came out a few months ago. Marquise Brown, 99 speed receiver there, and then Greg Dortch. Like, this team has actually got some potential. I like this team a lot for the Arizona Cardinals. Defensively, they do have a hole at middle linebacker. Didn't even realize that Terrell Suggs was a Cardinal at one point. You guys can't even see it. Didn't even realize that Terrell Suggs was a Cardinal. I didn't even notice that. Safeties, they do need help with, especially for the free safety position, because this Tyrann Mathieu is not the best of cards. You probably could suffice with having someone like Antonio Cromartie at free safety, just until you can get them. And then this Zaven Collins, I love the Zaven Collins card. I think he is incredibly good. You can both rush the passer and play defense, and drop back in coverage. But this team does lack a little bit of pieces, but I'm going to put them in the B tier for me personally. Their offense is incredibly good. Offensively, one of the better theme teams, I think. Defensively, they are missing a couple of pieces here and there. But you know what? I'm actually going to move the Cardinals up to an A tier. I think they're actually solid, but, they could be better, obviously. Actually, no, we're going to stick with them in B tier, just because, yeah. Next, we move on to the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are the next theme team. Now, if you guys do know, we actually did have the Atlanta Falcons theme team. Next, we move on to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if you guys remember, we actually did a gameplay on this team a little while ago, but we decided to move forward with another theme team, which was the Steelers theme team, just because the owner wanted to try something different. For the Falcons theme team, though, this team is really, really, really nice offensively. One of the best offenses in the game with Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith, Drake London, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Deion Sanders, wide receiver, Todd Gurley, who actually did play for the Falcons, so obviously he's going to be factored in. And then Michael Vick being their starting quarterback. They do need a QB. They did just get Kirk Cousins, though. I don't know how his abilities stack up. He does get Hot Rod Master for 3 AP, which is nice. He also does get Gunslinger, so he can get 5 AP for Gunslinger and Hot Rod Master. It's just unfortunately he does not get a velocity ability, but more than likely we'll be getting a UL Michael Vick at some point in the near future. Defensively, though, this team has some holes. This team does have some holes. Deion Jones was a really nice pickup for them for middle linebacker for weekly wildcards a week ago. Jesse Bates, winning team of the year, I think was a huge W for them. But other than that, this team does have a lot to be desired on the defensive side. Jonathan Abram is a really good pass rusher, but I really am not liking the Falcons on the defensive side, so I'm going to be a little bit harsh and say they're a C tier. Their offense is incredible, but defensively they are just missing so much in terms of like pass rushers and corners, to be specific. They just don't have a whole lot going for them. Next is the Baltimore Ravens. Where are the Baltimore Ravens at real quick? Here they are. So Ravens, nice offense, really, really stacked offense from top to bottom. I'm actually going to zoom this camera out just a little bit so you guys could see it a little bit better. There we go. Nice offense. Shannon Sharp, UL, Bradley Bozeman at the center position, and Ben Powers at left guard does need to be a bit changed up a bit, in my personal opinion. But OBJ, again, still a relatively solid card considering he came out in November/December area. Steve Smith is really, really nice, and then Zay Flowers. So you got some speed. You got some good quarterback play with Lamar Jackson or Joe Flacco, depending on who you want. Running back is a little bit on the worse side, but Derrick Henry got a welcome pack, his welcome pack card for season 5. Actually, it's Ravens camp now, so they are pretty set now at running back for them. Defensively, though, this team does need another corner. I feel they do need like 1 or 2 more cornerbacks to really take this team a little bit better on the defensive side. But they have a lot to go with. Ed Reed, Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is just an incredible card. Ray Lewis and Roquan Smith. Ray Lewis is still respectable, and then Roquan Smith is also respectable. So linebacker, you're pretty set. But trenches maybe could use an upgraded right end, but I like this team a lot. I'm gonna put them in the high B. I'm gonna put them above the Cardinals. I think they're better than the Cardinals, but they do need a couple more pieces to make them a bit more, to get them into A tier for me personally. Buffalo is next for them. This team does need some pieces. Like Stephon Diggs is okay now, same with guys like Stephon Gilmore. But even then, Bobby Trees, this team does need some help at the receiver position. Running back is really, really good, though. So deep at the running back spot, and I think they do have a few other running backs that they could use, if I'm not mistaken. Where is the Bills? They could get not Darren McFadden. Leonard Fournette is a solid back, but this team has some pretty good running backs to use from. Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Allen, really nice. I probably would have went with Josh Allen just because he's a little bit more cheaper than Ryan Fitzpatrick, but the offense is pretty solid. They did also just get Andre Reed last week on Monday with AKA. Defensively, though, how has Micah Hyde not gotten a card this year? This is a player that I am absolutely astonished he did not get a card, has not gotten a card yet this year. Hopefully he does for Easter. If this team does actually get Micah Hyde, they can move up to the A tier, but right now I'm putting them in the B tier. Micah Hyde is really holding this team back, and it's a shame because this team is pretty good. Also, Darrell Bernard is not that great, so defensively they do need some pieces, but yeah, I'm gonna put them in the B tier. I probably could say that they're better than the Falcons at the C tier, but I don't want to say that they're a C tier because they're not bad, but they're not worse than the Falcons, I feel. But they are pretty solid overall. Carolina Panthers is the next one. Now we were actually this team right here was the reason that made me want to make this video. We were actually having a conversation with me and my boys about about the Panthers theme team, and this was the theme team this was just that conversation that made me just go, you know what? Let me make a theme team ranking video because I haven't done one of those in a long while. But the offensive line with the center and left tackle position, they do need something. They do need something. I don't think that there is another left tackle for them other than maybe John Madden, which is definitely a point of contention. But other than that, this offense is pretty nice. Bryce Young is a serviceable quarterback, which is a concern that I have, obviously, for this team is Bryce Young. But Christian McCaffrey is a nice back. Obviously, we all know him and his 7 cards he's gotten this year. But defensively, this is where this team makes their money. They just got Charles Tillman. They got Stephon Gilmore, Rasul Douglas, Jeremy Chin, Julius Peppers is still a monster. Luke Kuechly and Deion Jones, good linebackers. Oop, there we go. You know what? Let me zoom this out a little tiny bit more. Just because you guys could see it. I don't know. I'm sorry you guys aren't seeing it that well. But yeah, no, this team is pretty nice on the defensive side. Does need some pieces. It's got some good special teams and whatnot, but we're not gonna focus on special teams. But the Panthers theme team, I'm gonna put them above. Do I want to put them in the C tier above the Falcons? Because on one hand, I like the team on the defensive side mainly. They've got some good pieces on defense. Their secondary is still relatively good with guys like Gilmore, Tillman, and Douglas. Chin and Peppers, they got great defensive backs, good linebackers. They're really great nickel defense. It's just base defense they're not that great with. And then offensively, I think Bryce Young holds them back a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to put them in C tier. I think I'm going to have them be above the Falcons. I think the Falcons are definitely the worst of the C tier teams. They were really, really bad. Speaking of teams that were really, really bad, let's talk about the Bears. Now, the Bears are actually a good team. They're going to be getting a lot of good cards, right? Obviously, they just signed Gerald Everett. They got Keenan Allen, who more than likely is going to be getting a card soon. Now, Justin Fields definitely got traded to the Steelers. He needs a new card for sure. But good running backs. Montez Sweat at wide receiver is kind of still crazy to me, but whatever. DJ Moore, you know, the offense is all right. It could be worse. Defensively, I like this team. I like the Bears defense a lot. This William Perry, I've heard so many great things about, especially with his momentum shift X factor, killing all like unstoppables and like the combine stuff and whatnot. There is a workaround, a way around it. Basically, if you take out the players that are like just about to like either take out the player or like take like just before like William Perry gets his momentum shift activated, if you take him and take him out of like that, you like for example, if you have Bo Jackson, right, quarterback, and William Perry's about to get his momentum shift activated, if you take out Bo Jackson before like the play before he gets that activated, and then it activates, and then you bring Bo Jackson back in or whatever, essentially it's a workaround. You can still get your unstoppable X factor, which I mean, on one hand, I kind of like that because it's a little chess match type of thing. But on the other hand, I really think that should not be like, it shouldn't be able to knock it down and be unstoppable, I think is what it is. I've like unstoppable. I don't think it should be. Where is Enforcer Supreme? It's like down here, right? Let me check this shit. Hang on, it's probably better to actually go to this abilities. Momentum shift, aka cruise. Deactivation 1 offensive downplayed. So yeah, deactivation 1 offensive downplayed. So like it charges up for like 8 on comp and then like deactivates on 1 offensive down, which it would be nice. It's just the problem is the fact that it makes everybody like zoned out, like they can't get it anymore. And I feel like that's a bit of a dud for that. But otherwise, back to the theme team ranking. I'm putting Chicago in the low B, maybe even high C. Where you know what? No, I'm gonna put them in low B. I'm gonna put them ahead of the Bills, I think I want to say. Yeah, I'm gonna put them ahead of the Bills just because, again, them having Micah Hyde is just kind of insane to me. Still at the starting free safety spot. Like, how has Micah Hyde not gotten a card? Let's talk about now the Geno Atkins, the Cincinnati Bengals theme team. Now, this is a theme team that actually surprised me with how good they are. Leo Collins hasn't gotten an upgrade all year, but you probably could move Munoz over there. I think Munoz does get secondary position right tackle. No, he doesn't, but you can just move Munoz over, so it's not the biggest of worries. Icky Williams, Zach Moss, new Zach Moss. Joe Mixon hasn't gotten a card since December, I find kind of wild. Jamar Chase is still relatively good. Burrow is probably going to get a card here soon. Fitzpatrick is a great quarterback. Defensively, though, wow, okay. I mean, this has some good pieces. But holy crap, do the linebackers suck. Like, my God, this linebacking core is absolutely horrendous. The secondary is better, but it could be could be better. The trenches are all right. Geno Atkins, is a solid tackle. Is a solid defensive tackle right now, but I'm gonna put the Bengals in the C tier. I don't know if I want to say that they're better than the Falcons, though. Are they better than the Falcons? I don't think they're better than the Falcons. I can't say they're better than the Falcons because this linebacking core is absolutely horrendous, and I just don't like it whatsoever. Cleveland is next. For a team that has been pretty bad most of my life, they actually are relatively solid for their theme team. Ozzie Newsome is a great tight end. Obviously, David Njoku got honorable mention for the team of the year. Offensive line, nice. I love teams that have good offensive lines because obviously, with the light up X factors being a thing now. OBJ, DPJ, and Amari Cooper. Peyton Hillis, good offense. Defense, I have not checked their defense in a little bit. Demario Davis does need a new card. So does guys like Jadeveon Clowney. Cornerbacks, these corners are not good. Like, realistically, the Browns theme team does lack a lot. Myles Garrett is insane, but he can only do so much like the real life Browns at times. But the Browns are still a good theme team. I'll put them in B. I think their offense is definitely carrying them. Their offense definitely carries them with how good it is. I mean, this Peyton Hillis is still relatively respectable as a back, and then Raheem Mostert he's okay. But yeah, like the offense is kind of carrying them a little bit. Defensively, they have a lot of holes, especially at the linebacker position. And then defensive backs, they do need some new ones. Next up, let's talk about them Cowboys. Where are them Cowboys? Them Cowboys are usually one of the best teams in the entire game year after year. And this year is no exception with the triplets now having with Irvin, Aikman, and Smith. I totally did that wrong. Keyshawn Johnson, even his abomination of a card. Jimmy Smith is still really, really nice. Like their fourth receiver is CD Lamb. Like that's how deep this team is. Like their fourth receiver is CD Lamb, who got a team of the year, and even the Amari Cooper at fifth receiver. And I'm pretty sure they have some other good. That's Dolphins. They have some other good receivers that they could potentially have to use, right? Like not Michael Pittman. Deion Sanders. Like Deion Sanders 97 speed is still relatively good, right? So like the offense is really, really nice. Larry Allen is a unit. Offensive line usually is a little bit better than this, to be completely honest, but I still think it's good. Dalton Schultz is a reliably good tight end. Defensively, this team is pretty stacked. You know, good cornerback trio. The starter, Herb Adderley. Didn't even realize Herb Adderley was a Cowboy. I always thought he was a Packer. Amani Hooker, you know what, 97 speed. That's actually pretty solid for safety. You guys know that I feel like that's an endgame free safety. Linebacker does need some help, but, you know, Harold Carmichael is still an absolute, like, godsend at times. So I'm going to put the Cowboys at A tier. I think they're the first A tier theme team. They're really, really good up and down the roster, and I think that they have lots to work with. Now let's look at Broncos country. Let's ride. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself with that. The Broncos, I mean, they could be better on offense. Vernon Davis is a stud. Joe Flacco. I completely forgot Flacco was a Bronco. Terrell Davis, 99 speed. So that's basically an endgame card right there. Peyton Hillis. Like, they got a good back duo with Peyton Hillis and Terrell Davis. Rod Smith is a solid receiver for them. David Moore could be better. Cortland Sutton is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. So offensively, they're not that great. Defensively, though, they're usually one of the best theme teams on the defensive side of the ball, especially with the no-fly zone historical defense. They're good. Like, Brian Dawkins does need a new card, and he'll get a probably UL within the next few weeks, I feel. But DRC, Champ Bailey, Pat Surtain, really solid corner trio. Von Miller, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten another card yet. Randy Gregory. I think this team is good, but they are lacking in a lot of important areas, so I'm going to put them in the C tier. I think they're better than the Bengals, for sure. I think they're better than the Bengals just because of their cornerbacks and their pass rushers. But, you know, offensively, they do need more weapons to work with. And so for that, I'm going to put them in the C tier. So next up, we have the Detroit Lions. You guys know I love this Lions theme team. They're one of my favorite theme teams I use. And this team is, like, stacked from top to bottom. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 99 speed. Megatron, 98 speed. Marvin Jones, 95 speed. You could also use this Amon-Ra. I personally would rather use the Amon-Ra just because it means Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm still kind of bummed out that this is the best card he's gotten. Like, he did not get a better card than this. I'm just absolutely mortified. I was kind of sad he lost Team of the Year. But Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, really good back duo, man. I love this running back duo. Like, Jamal Williams is a good free card if you want to use him. Jared Goff is still respectable. You could still use this Goff if you really, truly wanted to. Laporta, I love so much. Like, this team, I cannot say enough about the Lions team this year. It is incredibly good. Up and down the roster. I'm going to put them in the high A tier. I think they are in competition they could be better than Dallas, low-key. They low-key could be better than Dallas. I hate that MUT.GG does this, where they have like two of the same player at different positions with different guard. Like, obviously, we know you can't do that. Like, you can't actually have Aiden Hutchinson at right end and left end. Yeah, but this team is good. I'm going to put them lower than the Cowboys now that I think about it more. Outside linebacker does need cards. You know, this Jalen Reeves-Maybin is pretty bad. Next up, Green Bay Packers. Where are the Packers? Theme team. The Packers theme team. Now, this is another team I have used this year and liked. If you guys have not seen my Aaron Rodgers gameplay, go check it out. This Aaron Rodgers was really, really nice. Offensively, though, this team is good. You know, they just got Josh Jacobs. Jamal Williams is a really good card. So I have not used this Josh Jacobs yet for the Packers team. Gonna probably use him next time I use the Packers roster, just because, I mean, who knows when I'm gonna be using it again. I don't even know if the owner still has the Packers team anymore. But yeah, MVS, I would rather use this MVS over this Jair Alexander because of the lighted up slot-o-matic. I do like that ability a lot. Defensively as well, this team is pretty solid. They do need another safety with, you know, guys like Julius Peppers being their best safety. I'm shocked they haven't gotten another nose tackle yet. And then middle linebacker, they do need another card. But this team has lots to work with. I'm putting them in the A tier as well. I'm going to say the Lions are better because I feel like the Lions are the more complete team from top to bottom, but the Packers are right there. I completely forgot you could put Charles Woodson at safety. I completely forgot that's one of his secondary positions. Next up, Houston Texans. So it won't affect my ranking, by the way. I'm still saying that the Packers are the Lions are the better theme team. But moving on, we got the Houston Texans theme team. God, talk about a team that has been completely garbage and yet somehow has a respectable theme team. Yeah, these guys definitely need some help. Like, the quarterback position, it doesn't really matter who you pick, be it Stroud or Fitzmagic. Both are really good. Dalton Schultz is a great tight end. Obviously, like I said, with the Cowboys theme team. Receivers do need some work. And then defensively, you know, better than I thought. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. After seeing the offense, I thought defensively it was going to be pretty bad, but I was actually quite surprised with how good these guys are. Will Anderson, JJ, Danielle Hunter, a fine pass rush package, along with guys like DJ Reader, Sheldon Rankins, who is now I think he went to a different team. Defensive backs could be better, but this Justin Reed is pretty solid. Ed Reed is also pretty great too. Same with Jalen Petrie. You could probably use 95 speed. Jimmy Ward probably will get a new card soon. But the Texans I'm putting in the B tier. I think they are better than the Bears and the Bills. I don't think they're better than the Cardinals, though. You know what? I'm going to put them in the Cardinals in the above them. Ow. My apologies. I did not mean to sneeze. So yeah, that is the Texans theme team. Let's move on now to their division rival, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts theme team... Where is it? Oh shit, there it is. Colts theme team. Okay, it's actually better than I thought. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't think this team was gonna be very good on offense. But offensively, very well rounded. Great receivers with Pittman, Pierce, and Darius Heyward-Bey. Dallas Clark at tight end. Great quarterback with Anthony Richardson, who's probably going to get replaced by Andrew Luck with a UL before the end of the year. Running backs, like, you take your pick. Do you want Frank Gore? Do you want Marshall Faulk? Or do you want the edge? I would personally play the edge and maybe Marshall Faulk, just because, I mean, the edge gave a lot of years, and then Marshall Faulk is also really, really good. And then defensively, this team is missing some pieces, let's say. Let's say they're missing some pieces. They do need a safety. Nickel corner being Kenny Moore is pretty bleak. Defensive line could be better. I mean, Stephon Gilmore is a stud. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in the low B. I'm gonna put them around where the Browns are. Maybe even like the Bills. I don't know. Do I want to put them in C? I kind of feel like putting them in C tier because they're in the same boat as the Falcons, right? Like, they're the same boat as the Falcons. On, like, offense, they're really, really jacked, right? Like, they've got so many weapons to work with and such great depth. But defensively, they are lacking so many pieces. You know, Gilmore and Cromartie are really nice, but, like, defensively, they're lacking pieces. You know what? I think for fairness sake and just the way I have, like, say that with the Falcons, like, the Falcons situation, I'll put them with the Colts as well. Next up, the Jags. Where's the Jacksonville Jaguars? They are a team that actually has not been getting a whole lot of love this year specifically. T-Law still kind of outdated at this point. Fred Taylor's a nice running back, though, I will say. Jimmy Smith, you know, Torrey Holt, Calvin Ridley, newest Tennessee Titan, which is funny to me. I don't understand how they lost Calvin Ridley. And then moving on defensively, yeah, this team is pretty bad. Like, I'm gonna put them in the D tier. This team is pretty bad. Like, Josh Allen is great. You know, but like, Jimmy Smith is great. But after that, shit. All right, let's look at the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, they're great. They're like, there's nothing else for me to say. Like, they're great. They're, best QB in the game still, in my opinion, with Mahomes, Hill, MVS, Dante Hall. They just got Christian Okoye, who's a good running back for them. Kelsey is still really good. He's probably going to get like another card at some point. Eric Berry, you probably play... I don't know. Would you rather play the captain or would you rather play the UL? I think the UL would probably get played more just so you can have Justin Reed starting here. But pass rushers with Derek Thomas, Melvin Ingram, George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, like this team is really, really good, top to bottom. Even their special teams is crazy. So I think they're the first S tier team. Should be completely honest. I think they have to be, right? Like they're just so good, which makes sense for the Super Bowl champions, right? Like they got to have a good team, otherwise people will probably riot. Next up, let's talk about their division rivals, the Raiders. Not bad offensively, really good. Again, running like very well balanced offensively. Tight end Bo Jackson. Even then, you got Dave Casper, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Marshawn Lynch, Devontae Adams, DHB, Amari Cooper, Jerry Rice. Even good offense, defense. Like they're good. They're good. I think the Raiders are an A-tier team. Not gonna lie. They do need linebackers. Specifically like pass coverage linebackers. But Bo Jackson I think can do that too. Even though yes, I hate out of position cards, I kind of have to take them into account in this video just because of the fact that they are like necessary pieces. So, but I'm gonna put the Raiders as an A-tier team. Are they better than Green Bay? I'll leave that up to you guys. I don't want to say they are, and I don't want to say they aren't. I'm going to leave them up to you guys. So, next, let's move on to the Los Angeles Chargers. Guys, talk about a team that took a lot of fucking L's this offseason. Holy shit, the Chargers. Just my God. Drew Brees is great. Not great. Drew Brees is okay. Derwin James, wide receiver, being their best wide receiver, shows you all you need to know about this offense, because this offense is very bad. Hunter Henry is good, but this offense is not that great anymore. Mike Williams and Vincent Jackson are somewhat good, but they're not the greatest. And then defensively, holy crap, do they stink. Like, they are just bad. I think the Chargers belong in the same tier as the Jaguars. Do I want to say that they're even worse? I don't know, man. The Chargers are bad. Let's just say that. Next, we move on to those Rams. Let's look at the Rams team. This is a team I was hoping to get on the channel, but I never could because of other reasons outside of my control. So offensively, again, really, really solid. Obviously got the greatest show on turf with Holt, Bruce, Warner, and Falk. Todd Gurley is a really good running back, obviously. So, like, offensively, top to bottom, you got the Rams' offense is stacked with playmakers, stacked with good offensive line pieces. Defensively, they do need some help. Defensively, they do need some help. Especially at the safety position and maybe in a corner or two. Linebacker, they're great. Obviously, you can't have Aaron Donald playing defensive tackle and right end at the same time. He does not get secondary position DT on this Aaron Donald, which is kind of dumb. But Kobe Turner, I think, would probably be a sufficient one. Same with Greg Gaines. But the Rams, I'm putting in the B tier as well. I think they're better than the Texans just because of the offense. I think their offense, especially in Madden, is obviously much more valuable, and so I'm thinking I'm putting the Texans at the Rams higher than the Texans. Miami is next. This is a team that hasn't gotten a whole lot of upgrades in the recent weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I could be wrong. Yeah, Braxton Berrios, Tyreek Hill, Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins being their third receiver is pretty... Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. Jonnu Smith, obviously their newest signing. He's going to come over, so he's going to get Miami Dolphins chem. Dan Marino, I probably would use this Dan Marino just because he is a little bit cheaper. I know a lot of people don't like Dan Marino, but, I mean, Dan Marino is probably their best option at QB. And then defensively, holy crap. Now look, this defense isn't inept. This isn't inept like the Falcons defense. But this defense leaves a lot to be desired. Holy crap. Like, this defense leaves a lot to be desired. I'm putting them in the same tier. I'm going to put them in... I don't think they're better than the Falcons. I think the Falcons have... Because of the fact they have much more depth on offense because of the third receiver and then the running backs. By the way, this is being recorded before weekly wildcards drop tomorrow. We are getting a Bijan Robinson for sure, as well as a Brandon Cooks for those, like Rams, Steeler, like the Rams theme team, as well as the Pats theme team and shit. So, yeah. Next, we move on to the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are also a good theme team. I didn't even know Dave Casper was a Viking. Don't have good running backs. Suspect we'll probably get an APUL very, very... All right, let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings forgot Dave Casper was a Viking. Not gonna lie. Forgot he was a Viking. Justin Jefferson, I've heard really great things about this card. Randall Cunningham being their starting quarterback is nice. They don't have a running back or a very good one. Patterson is all right, but I mean, you definitely could use a upgrade of the running back position. Maybe even Adrian Peterson might get a card. Who realistically knows for sure? But offensively, this team has a lot. Defensively, not as bad as I thought. They are still pretty bad, specifically at the safety positions. They do need some safeties. But for that reason, I'm going to put them in the B tier. I don't necessarily know if they are better than the Browns or Bills, so I'm just going to leave them there. Next up, New England Patriots. This is a team that's on the Next up, the New England Patriots. This is a team that's on the come up, not going to lie. They're getting some good cards, and they're going to be getting a wide receiver tomorrow. But this offense is not good whatsoever. Not good. Randy Moss is still usable, and Matthew Slater is not. Stephon Gilmore is not really that usable. Jarrett Stidham is fucking horrendous. It's kind of surprised. I'm really shocked we didn't get a Tom Brady this year, although I'm kind of not at the same time. But I'm not. That's neither here nor there. Defensively, oh, good grief. Moving on. All right, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints theme team. Now, this is a theme team that also doesn't really get a whole lot to work with upgrades. However, this team is still somewhat good. Like, the Saints got a good quarterback with Derek Carr, Olave, A.T. Perry. Rashid Shaheed is also really nice. Defensively, holy piss, is this defense terrible. Again, just gonna... What the fuck? Oh, I accidentally... Okay, cool. Moving on to the Giants. Holy crap, that was horrendous. Giants. Alright, moving on to the Giants. New York Giants. Next up, we have the New York Giants theme team. This one is also pretty eh. Now look, Plax and Odell are nice. Kurt Warner is good, obviously. Peyton Hillis and Saquon Barkley are also really... Well, Saquon? He could be better, but Peyton Hillis is still respectable. You know, so you got some good pieces here. On offense, he's not as bad as some other offenses. Dexter Lawrence probably the best center in the game still. Defensively, I mean, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Truthfully, this isn't as horrendous as I thought. You know, Adoree Jackson is nice. DRC is great. Everson Walls is great. Jabril Peppers, Adoree Jackson is good. DRC is great. Everson Walls is still somewhat good, actually. I didn't even realize that. Jabril Peppers is nice. D-Law, you know, is just an absolute unit. They just got Brian Burns, a straight hand. So, like, you got lots to work with on this side of the ball with defense. And then you got Kevin Bullock. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Giants as a B tier. This is a team I didn't really think... Let's just put them there. This is a team I didn't really think was going to be that good, but I am pleasantly surprised with how good this team is. They do need an upgrade at left tackle, though. How has Andrew Thomas not gotten a card this year? Next, we have the New York Jets theme team. Now, this is a theme team that a lot of people really sleep on, I feel. The Jets theme team is really nice. Really great receivers again, and then there's Keyshawn Johnson. I hate this card so fucking much, guys. I don't think you understand how much I hate this Keyshawn Johnson card. But Ryan Fitzmagic is nice. Joe Flacco is also a really good option for them at quarterback. At defensive side of the ball, they could be better. They really could be. I mean, free safety, Ed Reed is nice. Sauce Gardner, Antonio Cromartie. Some solid endgame corners there. Quentin Williams is a big unit in the middle of the defense. I'm going to put the Jets in the low B. They are missing some pieces, sure. I mean, Ty Law still being 96 speed is relatively good. But we'll probably get a UL Darrell Revis at some point, and then Jamal Adams is probably going to get a card for the Jets theme team here very soon. Next, we move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Sorry, guys, I had a little bit of a technology stuff there. Eagles theme team, pretty nice, you know, good off, like 1-2 receiver punch. They're so deep at QB. We all know the Eagles are historically like the QB factory. You know, that's why they got, especially with guys like with coaches like Andy Reid in the 2000s. And then, like, even nowadays, the Eagles just find a way to make quarterbacks look great. And then defensively, again, this is another theme team that I think a lot of people sleep on for defensive purposes. This theme team can get after it on the defensive side, especially with William Perry now, Javon Curse. Cornerbacks are really, really nice. I'm putting the Eagles in the A tier as well. I think they are a top tier theme team. I don't think they're as dominant as they were a year ago, but that's because, like, last year they made the Super Bowl, right? Like, so we can't really get too upset at them at that. Next, we move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a theme team that I have actually showcased on the channel before recently. We're going to be hopefully getting gameplay out for them soon. Once the Steelers theme team actually gets a card, we'll definitely look to use a gameplay for that team. Hopefully it's a Russell. Who knows? Maybe it might be a Justin Fields. Either way, I'll probably showcase Justin or Russ for the Steelers theme team. But yeah, Michael Vick, quarterback and running back. Now, this is a situation where you can actually put both of them in the lineup, which I find kind of weird. But Dree Archer, this Dree Archer is still a really good budget card. Truthfully speaking, this Dree Archer is still really, really great. DHB, Hines Ward, and Plaxico Burress make up a really, really nice receiving trio. But even then, you have George Pickens, who is still serviceable until you can get that DHB. Defensively, Like, I'm not even trying to shit on this team, but, like, Like, they could be better, right? Like, Keanu Bendon, Mean Joe, you know, Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt. A solid pass rush package. Defensive backs are a lot better than they normally are. And then, you know, free and strong safety. The safety position, though, specifically free safety, is not that great. Strong safety, though, I mean, Troy Polamalu, 96 speed, is still usable, right? Like, so... but Steelers I'm putting in the B tier as well. Truthfully speaking, I think they're a good theme team, but I don't think they're an elite theme team. Now let's look at the runner-up San Francisco 49ers theme team, and doggy, these guys are insanely great. We all know this. It's the Niners theme team. The Niners, as well as the Raiders, we all know, are consistently one of the best theme teams every single year just because of how historically great the teams are and how many legends they truly have. But even then, Isaac Bruce, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Vernon Davis, Jerry Rice is their fourth receiver, and then Brandon Ayuk, honorable mention. CMC, Frank Gore, really great running back duo. Brock Purdy's quarterback card I absolutely love. It's probably been my favorite quarterback to use this year, other than... yeah, no, probably is. Defensively, though, wow. They do need corners. For sure. They do need another cornerback. That much is very obvious. But defensively, though, this team still has some fantastic pieces to it. And I personally think they are an S-tier theme team. Even with the limitations at second corner for them, I still think they are a S-tier theme team. Okay, there we go. Next up, let's look at my Seahawks. And hell, I am not thrilled with how they've been doing our Seahawks this year, guys. I truly am not. Quarterback is terrible. Absolutely horrendous. I don't understand how we don't have a quarterback yet. This Warren Moon came out in fucking November. We haven't gotten a quarterback since. Where's our quarterback? Where's our Russell Wilson? Where's our Geno Smith? Fuck. Sorry, I didn't want to rant about that. Anyways, so anyhow, moving on. The Seahawks team. Like, the skill positions are nice. Don't get me wrong. The skill positions are nice. JSN is great. Is really, really solid. Don't like his abilities. DK and Steve Largent and Jerry Rice, you know, round up some good ones. Tight end Jimmy Graham and Gerald Everett are nice. I meant to say Gerald Everett. And then defensively, oh my god, this team is terrible. You know, the trenches need some work. Obviously, Clowney is not that great. You know, Leonard Williams hasn't gotten a card. Brooks hasn't gotten a card. You know, I'm putting this team in the B tier, to be completely honest. I'm so close to putting in the C tier as well, to be completely honest. Just because of the horrendous quarterback play. Like, the Warren Moon is not that good, you know, but you know what? I'm going to be harsh to my team. I'm going to be harsh to my team and put them at the C tier because, like, they're really, really great in a lot of areas, especially in the secondary and in the skill positions, but, like, offensively, don't have our quarterback. We need our Russ. We need our Geno. We need our Warren Moon. I don't care at this point. Just give me a damn quarterback. My God, I'm tired of not getting QB cards. Next we move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is a team you guys, if you guys haven't seen my most recent video, I actually did a video with the Mike Evans free agency card. This team is a team that I absolutely love. I think this team is insanely good overall from top to bottom. You know, the running back could be better, but it's still good. Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Keyshawn at third receiver, which I think honestly is probably the best place for him, even though I hate Keyshawn. Doug Williams, I think, is a great quarterback still. I don't know if he's better than Fitzmagic, but will remain to be seen. Defensively, though, this team does have some weaknesses. They do need some more corners. They do need a better free safety. Maybe Antoine Winfield gets a card here for, like, I don't know, like Easter, you know, maybe some other promos. I don't know, but maybe a Team Diamonds 2, which I think Team Diamonds 2 should be current day players. That's just a hot take for me. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's just how I feel. I think Team Diamonds 2 should be current day players. But with that being said, I think the Bucs are a low B tier team. They have lots of good about them, but there's not as much negative, but there is some noticeable negative to them. I mean, this Shaq Barrett, you can obviously just, whatever, who gives a shit. So next we move on to the Tennessee Titans theme team. Now, this Titans theme team, wow, I'm actually really surprised how good this team is. They obviously just got Calvin Ridley, which is nice. Julio, AJ Brown, Jonnu Smith, Dave Casper. Dave Casper was a Titan? I did not know that. What teams did he play for? Holy shit. Okay. Raiders, Vikings, and Titans. Okay. I never knew that. The more you know. You can't see it, but I'm doing a thumbs up and making a dumbass smile. Sorry, guys. And then defensively... Okay, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say... Because this defense is good. But, like, Amani Hooker needs a card. The defensive line, like, the middle linebackers in this, like... Brian Arakpo is good. Does he get any, like... Does he get Lark Artist? He does. Okay, so you could use Arakpo and Keith Bullock if you really wanted to. Yeah, I'm going to put the Titans, though, in the B tier. I think they're also a low B tier theme team. They do need some middle linebackers. They do need some trenches. But offensively, they're really, really good. You know, it's the same problem. You know what? We'll put them in the C tier as well. It's the same problem that the Falcons have, as I mentioned. They have, but the thing is, their secondary is really good, though. So you know what? I'm sticking with my judgment. I'll put the Titans in the B tier. And then finally, guys, we have the Washington Commanders theme team. Now, this is a theme team. Normally, it's also one of the best theme teams every single year. This is also kind of not that at this moment because, I mean, Austin Eckler's a fine pickup, but like he's not that good. AP still needs a card. We all know this. Andre Reed's great. Deion Sanders is still really good. Fitzmagic, Doug Williams. You know, same. You know, it doesn't really matter who you pick for that. Defense. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I looked at this guy right here and instantaneously laughed because how is he the best middle linebacker too that the fucking Commanders have gotten this year? Holy Christ. Okay, I need to collect myself here. But that being said, I think this team is still relatively good. I'm gonna put them in the B, the low B, maybe even high C tier. They need some linebackers, like now. Holy shit, they need some linebackers now. And then offensively, they need a running back. They truly do. But you know, it is what it is. So, anyways, guys, this is my final rank. This is my rankings for this video of what I think the best theme teams in Madden 24 are. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Also, if you guys do like this type of content and want to see more theme team rankings like this, hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully that's very soon, because we've not been getting a whole lot of content for the theme teams that we run here on the channel. Also, by the way, guys, if you guys want to come over to support me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JettaBro95, that's where we do all of our stuff that we do for content that we bring onto the channel, as well as stream other games. Probably be streaming MLB tomorrow, unless there's something really nice with weekly wildcards. As of this current moment, there really hasn't been anything to really showcase for me. I mean, Brandon Cooks could be for the Pats theme team, but the owner might be waiting to pick him up for Easter just because, you know, he'll probably go down. But anyways, that's it. I'm out. Peace.